Cool. We are live. That's awesome. Hold on, are we? Oh my god. Wow. I have the. Okay, I'm gonna have to mute me because I just happen to have YouTube up on there. Hi, everybody. Okay, so Andrea is MIA at the moment, and I just woke up from a long nap, and I'm gonna be talking about um, common side effects. But at the moment, hi Vicky. At the moment, I'm going to be finishing this coffee to help wake up because I climbed the CN Tower today for charity, and I am exhausted. And you see little things happening in the back of my head. That's from the nap I just woke up from on the couch. Mm. Okay. Um. So the intention was I was just gonna have a nice casual chit chat with my sidekick Andrea. Or no, I wouldn't say sidekick because that makes it seem like I'm the superhero. Hold on, my co-host Andrea. But she ain't here right now. How are you doing today, Vicky? Cool. I'm gonna assume it's great. Okay. So today, what do we got? Common side effects, season one. Good. Glad to say that you're good, Vicky. Uh, am I muted? Did I mute myself? Okay. Am I? Hold on. That didn't make yes. No. I'm a professional. Clearly, I know what the hell I'm doing right now. Okay, so common side effects. Fantastic animation from obviously Greg Daniels, Mike Judge, the only people really getting stuff done in animation. Obviously, well, Greg Daniels is more of a uh, Office, Parks and Rec, that kind of a thing. Mike Judge, I mean, amazing man of animation and Idiocracy. Um, oh, hey, Davey. Probably just my phone left side. Yeah, Dave, I don't know what's going on with your with your headphones. I hope everything's all right with that. I'm in mono right now, not stereo. I'm in mono. Okay. So, where are we at? Common side effects. Main characters Marshall and we go Marshall and Francis. Fantastic people. Except for well, Francis goes through a whole hell of a story arc. Marshall, solid guy, standard throughout the same. Uh, Genius level, over trusting. So he's finding this mushroom in Peru. It is glowingly blue. All right, so it's in the what was it in this valley downstream from this polluted factory and turtles everywhere, gorgeous turtles everywhere. Finds this a mushroom and it is the mushroom, the panacea to cure all ills. And it immediately he gets attacked by gunfire and has to take off, and then appears at this Ryudacal pharmaceutical Q&A that goes terribly. All right, cool, and that's where like it just I love that it starts off with Rick. Like this whole show starts off with Rick at a Q&A for Ryudacal, this pharmaceutical Q&A, and he's just like, I'm telling you that these side effects are very minimal. Anybody else? And and then that's when you see Marshall with this gorgeous little house plant in a pot, and he immediately starts going off high stream, and that is. I don't know. I don't know how we're going to discuss this live chat. What is straight off the top? Vicky, Davey with one ear. Talk to me. How do you feel about the show in its entirety? Episodes 1 through 10. How did it go for you? Highs, lows, favorite moments? Because I can tell you one of my favorite characters, Socrates, hands down, he was the linchpin for this entire show. There's nothing better than that guy. And let me see. In no way am I stalling for time until Andrea gets here. Um, so you know what? Let's take a pause. Let's take a pause for a second because obviously I'm waiting for that coffee to kick in. I climbed the CN Tower today, and I am just a bit exhausted from let's just say the waist down. Actually, you know what? Let's just say from the belly down because there were some core muscles. Capano Capano is. I loved Capano. Vicky's favorite is Capano. Hold on, I gotta make sure I'm Capano. Was she the girl or the guy? Trying to remember. Out of the pair, I keep forgetting which one was which. Out of that, hold on, Capano. Capano and Harrington. Oh, Harrington. Okay, yeah, it was Capano. Capano, honestly, yes, thank you, Vicky. Capano was great. Like Capano, like he was. I'm trying to say. I mean, both of them hilarious in the beginning and then tragic at the end. But Capano stayed on the side of good throughout the entire time. Like that was the guy that, first of all, great choice in music. Second of all, he definitely chose the side of good. Like he recognized that he was working on the side of evil, and he was like, "No, man, I can't do that." And unfortunately, Harrington just stayed with it, and that's where they had to go. That was probably one of the saddest bits about this show was that Capano and Harrington split because they were an excellent buddy, and but he stayed the thing, and he could do one arm push ups, which is not easy to do, and oh, I felt bad that Harrington chose the path that she did. She's like, I'm gonna stay with the DEA. I'm gonna keep my nose down to this. And Kamal's like, nah, man, I'm out, man. And oh yeah, no, good choice on that one. Davey, what do you think? Who was one of your favorite characters on the show? And also, can I say we got to see Harrington go undercover. And I love that episode. I love that like a brief 5 minutes we got to have fun with Harrington acting like she was a raver. But yeah, Capano, he was oh, that hurts. But you know what? He came through. He even came through in the end when Harrington saved Capano from the machine gun, from the helicopter at the end. Episode 10. By the way, this whole conversation is going to be filled with spoilers. If you haven't watched Common Side Effects yet, you should not be joining us on this review. But I'm glad you're joining us anyways. And but I do love that Capano he came through. No, Harrington came through in the end and hooked him up with a nice little mushroom to wake him up and get him back into action. I was like, that last little bit for friendship. Still feel like they could carry on. We may or may not have lost Dave. He's probably fixing his thing. I can tell you right now, Andrea's favorite character is going to be Rick. Rick Kruger, hands down, voiced by Mike Judge, which, again, I said Rick Kruger is about 85% just Hank Hill, just because that's just Mike Judge. I feel like he was the CEO of Ryuta Cal. That man, I want to say had depth and range, but he stayed consistent throughout the whole thing. Like I don't know, I want to say that he started off just head up his ass, just being a rich CEO like you usually do. And then he did realize that, well, I think he just got fired, but then he just never gave up. He's just CEO the entire time. He never stopped being CEO and full of himself, and that was just wonderful. I'm not sure if he ever learned any lesson out of that or not, but like some CEOs just ride the wave of like, okay, got sacked from this place, I'll go get a CEO job at another place, and he just kept going. Let me see. What are some other characters? I was going back through the reviews of it, of each episode, and I forgot Connor. Connor was a character that I completely forgot about, but he was like the assassin that kept coming after Marshall. He's the one that T-boned Marshall in the car, and then later he was the one that just got like killed by the wolf and left for dead. And yeah, he was a fun little assassin for a short bit. There was a number of good assassins in this show, but sadly they just never made it to the end. And let me see, what are some other ones? Oh, there we go. Oh, I've seen the. Oh, it's cool. All right, guys. So I have the live feed over here that I shouldn't be watching, and then I have the chat over here, and so I just get to see myself looking back and forth. Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna stop doing that. Go back to the chat. Okay, Rick. You're right, Ricky. Rick was the fun character to watch. I feel like he was more of a comedic break. Originally, Capano and Harrington were the comedic break for this whole thing. Just because they were just always just dancing like, and then then their relationship broke up, and then it just shifted to Rick. Um, what do I think of Nick? Hold on, which one was Nick? Who is Nick? Hold on, Nick is Francis. Oh, Nick, the boyfriend. Okay, that's how. All right, let me. That's how much I think of Nick. Is I don't even remember that guy. All right, that's that's how. All right, I felt bad for Nick, but also I don't because I feel like he was like cold oatmeal. You know, he didn't really do anything. He didn't really bring anything to Francis's life. I think he was just going to be like I feel like Nick was going to be that road that Francis had to decide, is she going to go down or not? You know, am I going to continue with this mediocrity of being a CEO's assistant, just nothing really going on, and then he gets to be taken to Switzerland for this concert. I feel like that was like the last best thing that Frances did was take him to Switzerland with her. And that's when she was like, "Yo, man, I'm sorry, Nick. You were just milk toast, okay? You were just nothing worth. Like, I'm sorry, man. I'm beyond you. I can't go down that boring ass path." And he had to go. He did love VR gaming, so that was cool. But outside of that, like, no, it was not meant to be. And I do love that he later comes back. He's like, "But come on, Francis, let's get married. We can do this." And Francis had to be like, "Nah, bro, I'm sorry. Like, I feel like she already forgot about him, let alone the rest of us. As he popped out of nowhere, and it was like, "Can you marry him?" Like, "Nah, man, I'm sorry, Nick, we gotta go." Okay, so what are some other characters we had in there? Again, let's talk about Jonas the Wolf. I loved him because he was absolutely a Henry Kissinger. That man was a Henry Kissinger of a dude that is just always, he's like 3 steps ahead. He has plans that lean into plans that domino ticks to plans. And I don't know what his real end game is except maybe money and power, but at what point, at what cost? Like, that's all he does is just maintain power and everything. But I mean, again, what was Henry Kissinger's end goal? I mean, other than just screwing up anywhere like south of the United States. But I mean, I guess just to keep money and power, that was it. And then he got his comeuppance. That man realized he was mortal because I mean, how old was he? Like 60s, maybe 70s. At the end of it, then they were like, "Hey, buddy, you got the big C." And then he realizes, "Oh no, I have taken out all of the mushrooms. All of the mushrooms that could have healed it. I need it. I need something." And he goes to Peru because he can. Just because I have the map, I'm going to point to it. He goes to Peru, and to find the mushroom, to hope like to find the one thing that he didn't destroy, and then nope, it's already too late. He's gobbling up every piece of crap mushroom he can find. Then he realizes, oh, it's in South Carolina. So he goes to South Carolina and he finds the mushroom, the Blue Angel mushroom, and just gobbles up so many at one time. Like the first time anybody does an edible, they do too much and it screws them up the entire time. And then now he's in a coma. We didn't get that final confrontation between him and the person we'll talk about in a second. Oh, sorry, Vic. What'd you say? I like Francis' mom. Oh, what was her name? Sonia. Yeah, Sonia. Oh, Sonia's Francis' mom, Sonia. Sweet thing. Started out in the last throes of dementia, like the sad last throw. Like she was like catatonic. That's the word. Catatonic from her dementia, and it unfortunate like yeah. And so Francis saw the mushroom, and the first thing she thought of is like, "I'm gonna help my mom," which who wouldn't? And so gives her the mushroom, and it was slow. I guess maybe the mushroom takes a little time when it's working with the brain rather than with the body, maybe. Anyway, and so Francis, like, she pisses off, and then eventually, like, bam, 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 like Sonia gets her wits about her. what was it, the retirement home or the hospice care, like contacts Francis, and that's why Francis leaves Nick at the Switzerland. Yes, I remember it. You can literally watch me live as the coffee kicks in, and I remember every bit about the story now. Anyway, so then he goes back, and then Sonia is like wide-eyed and happy and feeling jovial again, and she's climbing trees, and then she's falling out of trees, and then we lose Sonia. And then Rick does a half-ass attempt to help out Francis, and there's this like was a charity event or what do you call it? Charity fund or something like that to help her out, whatever. Anyway, it was a half-ass attempt, but Sonya was solid for the very little bit we got of Sonya. She was solid, and oh yeah, and then Vicky is saying Jonas learned money can't solve every problem. I feel like he knew that every person who is at that level functioning at that high level of money and power knows that it can't buy you everything, but they just never think about that until it actually happens. And I feel like we should have gotten that last showdown between Jonas and Hildy, but you know what, we maybe can if there's a season 2. But let's talk about Hildy for a hot moment, because she is a hot moment. Anytime Hildy is on screen, you should be on pins and needles, because that woman, eco-terrorist in a cabin in the woods, Marshall goes to her, oh yeah, because she was his mentor. So, how would I word this? Because of course I'm going to bring in Star Wars references. She was absolutely the Jedi Master, and Marshall was her Padawan. And he goes to her to help out, but evidently she's gone full on cuckoo eco terrorist, but not the fun kind of eco terrorist. She's like, I'm gonna start shit, and she's like, you got the mushroom? And with her, I don't know, she kind of had like some buck teeth. I love her. And Marshall's like, oh no, I can't trust you, Hilda. You going crazy? And so then she shoots herself to get to have Marshall give her the mushroom to prove that he has it. That's extremes. And I'm all about those extremes, Hildy. That's how freaking crazy she is. And yeah, it works. And then she just keeps popping up, like tracking down Marshall and everything. And oh yeah, you know what? One a cool thing that I just remembered that we just never got back from, the probably the coolest gadget that the DEA had, or no, it wasn't the DEA. It was, I think it was Connor. Yeah, Connor, the assassin, sent after him, had that little roach camera, like tracker thing on there. It was a camera and it was a tracker. And for a hot minute, I'm like, do we have that tech, or did only Jonas's assassins have that? It was crazy. What is it? Exactly. Marshall learned everything from Hildy. Maybe why he trusted her so much. Which, yeah, I mean, if like you have a mentor, I'm gonna trust that person because they taught you everything you need to know. They got you to where you are. And yeah, I absolutely would do that. Evidently, Hildy never taught Marshall to not trust her. I feel like that was the last trick in her tool belt. You know, or what was the I think it's a kung fu movie cliche. It's like, I know 60 ways to kill someone. I'll teach you 59. The last is if you cross me. And I feel like that's what Hildy did. Was like, she didn't teach him to not trust her. And that poor gullible Marshall, he fell for it. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't hate Hildy. She was just such a loose cannon, you didn't know what to expect. And towards the end, she became, like, she started realizing, hey, we can use this money in funds to fund eco-terrorism. And she created, like, these tinctures, which I guess is just water and mushroom. I don't know exactly if there was anything else in it, but it was water and mushroom, and it was glowing blue. And then we see her at the end dumping a whole vat of it into the town's water supply, which I can't wait to see what the hell's going to happen with that and where that's going to go. So, again, season 2, if we get a season 2, hell yeah, I want to see what that happens, because she's out for chaos, and I'm all about that. Okay, like, again, I don't hate Hildy. I kind of hate what she did to Marshall, because again, don't walk in front of Hildy, let alone be on a cliffside. And yeah, sure, she might kill you. But luckily, Marshall is very lucky with Capano. And he had a mushroom. Anyway, oh, they did confirm. Thank you, Vicky. I mean, that's probably a very gingerly light Google search I could have done to find that out, but I just didn't. Thank you, Vicky, for telling me. Okay, so they do have a season two. So in season two, we're gonna find out exactly what happened with that again, and hopefully we'll find out what happened to Andrea because I don't know where she is. Hopefully, she's probably asleep. She probably took a nap. Look, I woke up at 5:30 and I was like, oh crap, we got a thing. She's probably still asleep. So good for you, Andrea. But I want to go on to another. I don't want to say favorite, but he was definitely a kooky one. Zane, Marshall's half brother, the one who is all underwear and socks and gumption and loves animals, runs a shady ass pet shop with but of course he's trading in exotic pets in the back. But he seems like the kooky rave kid. Like if Zane was younger, Harrington would have busted him at the rave. But yeah, Zane being he's a veterinarian half brother, specializes in marine animals. He enjoys taking psychedelic drugs and illegally imports rare tropical animals. I'm against the importing of rare tropical animals, but I am for the psychedelic drugs that Zane's about. Hell of a guy. Hell of a fun time. Anytime he's up there, like Marshall has to like use his words wisely. Like Zane, just focus, honey, sweetie, focus. Okay, I need your help. I need this, whatever. I need your help with Socrates, anything. Like Zane's just all over the place. Like he's also a loose cannon, but not all that helpful of a loose cannon either. But then he actually does at the end because he was importing Peruvian tortoises, Socrates' brothers and sisters. And so maybe there's a hope for the future of all the turtle poop we could ask for because poor little Socrates can only poop so much. Let me see. Who else was out there? What are we going to do with all those turtles? I know, right? What is he going to do with all those turtles? Like, so he has the supply, like the fertilizer producers, but what's going to happen with the, like, is he going to meet up with the other ones? Was he just going to sell them just because they were pretty, but then comes to find out, oh, wait a minute, these are useful. And then, hold on, but didn't also Capano found the guy, didn't he? Capano and Harrington did. So Harrington's probably going to come back and mess with Zane, but I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see. He's a bit of a weird guy, but it's going to be fun. Let's talk about Amelia, the mycologist. She has a bit of a story arc as well. She gets brought in by the DEA agents to, I guess, help figure out, like, in the beginning, like, what is this mushroom? What is it got? What does this do again? Whatever. Then she gets cut loose and sent out. And then, I'll see that. I'll come back to that. Okay, yeah. So then he gets kicked out, comes up, and then she ends up finding out that yes, this mushroom is real. It can heal people, but then like that's when Marshall's in prison. So then Amelia starts volunteering at the prison to help get Marshall out, because she has a sick kid. And then Marshall's like, "Yo, you can help me. You need to synthesize this pufferfish toxin, right?" And so then she does that, accidentally makes it too harsh because she doesn't pay attention, but that's fine. Anyway, she's got a lot going on. And then he dies. Amelia sneaks Marshall out and then ultimately crosses Marshall because, wait, hold on. I forgot the order of this whole thing. Again, anyway, the mushroom heals her kid. He's back. He's a little bit of a shit, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm glad Amelia's kid's fine, but his kid's a little bit of a shit. And he's drawing on walls and everything. And then, but then Amelia ends up working for Hildy for some reason. I forgot exactly why. But I did it. But yeah. So then she does that, double crosses Marshall, and then I think she just disappears at the end. She just off and doing her own thing. Anyway, I feel like Amelia had a bit of an arc. Like she was almost what do they call that? Not Vox Machina. Not Vox Machina. What do they call that? Deus Ex Machina. Like just appearing to help facilitate. Like, all right, we need a way to get Marshall out of prison. Oh yeah, Amelia. Let's use her. Anyway, that was fun. I'm sorry. What were we at? Yeah, the jailbreak was a fun episode. I feel like it's almost like you can almost forget that Marshall was in prison for a hot minute because he was sent there, obviously trumped up charges by DEA agents and everything, and then the assassin the cool ass assassin, which I forgot what was his name. He was a really cool one. Anyway, who just casually robs a convenience store and causes a situation just so he can get land in prison, the exact same prison to kill Marshall, needle in there. And then what's his face in prison, who was like the kingpin of the prison, whatever, wants to use Marshall's like doctor abilities to heal like his buddies and everything. I feel like we could have gotten more out of that guy, and I feel like we can get more out of that guy in season 2. And anyway, so Marshall figures out a balm or a salve to fix the guy's like foot fungus or whatever. It was something weird like that. But then Marshall like breaks out of prison in time. But anyway, really cool situation in prison. But it was like a hot minute, and then he's back on the run. Hold on. What did you say? Rusty was a cool character too. Rusty. Okay, now I remember Rusty. That sweet redneck. Oh my goodness, that sweet little redneck that finally got to fire off a giant machine gun at DEA agents in a chopper. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that's just always gonna be a redneck's dream, is to fire a giant machine gun at the government. And he got to fulfill it. I mean, he got messed up. I kind of am a little surprised that they had a whole bunch of mushrooms like in the tent next door. Like could have just like the sheriff dad could have run over, grabbed a mushroom, and saved Rusty. But I guess you don't get those options when the DEA just swoops in and takes everything. But man, rest in peace, Rusty. This show has a lot of loose cannons, and I feel like that's what gave it realism, because everybody has their own motivations, whether they make damn sense or not, and they all acted upon it. Do I think? Well, Chidi-san, do I think Jonas is coming back in season 2? Hell yes, Jonas is going to come back. There is no way you're not going to bring back the Vuv into season 2. Like, yeah, he's in a doom loop of a coma right now. That man is head emerging out of heads, in his own nightmarish thing. He's going to come back, but I feel like he's going to come back in a different way. Like, he's not going to come back the exact same wolf that he was in, like when he went in there. But he's definitely going to come back. That man was way too much of a powerhouse, because he needs to have his midnight on a rooftop showdown with Hildy. All right, that's my dream for season 2. Hey, Greg Daniels, Mike Judge, please, if you can make that happen, that's good television. I would love to see it. Hey, Kristen, good to see you. Rest in peace, indeed, Rusty. Let me think. What are some other characters? Oh yeah, here's another one that like she was in there for a hot minute. Kiki, who was like the lab tech. Like she was the hands-on lab coat, trying to synthesize the mushroom, figuring out how it grows and everything. She was just fun. And knowledgeable. What are they? Her description: young and knowledgeable in medicine and the pharmaceutical system. She acts as the devil's advocate for the company, disputing the arguments brought up by people such as Marshall. So Kiki was basically not the devil on the shoulder of Ryudoka, because that is just mostly Ryudoka, but she was like the angel on the shoulder of that one. She actually convinces Francis, hey, yeah, we're not like an entirely horrible company. We do good things. We provide medicine, like heart medicine, brain medicine, and this kind of medicine. We do help people. There is hope in pharmaceuticals. It's not all nightmarish profits, though people in charge kind of do that. But I did like Kiki's thing at the end, where she's like, yo, bro, we couldn't synthesize this mushroom to make it work. Sorry, Rick. But we actually found out this synthetic mushroom is delicious. And it can be a food additive. Sparkle. And that's how we get Sparkle, and it's all thanks to Kiki. And I feel like she was just a fun one. Like a friend of mine is a lab tech. Like she's a chemist. She works as a lab tech, and she's like, yeah, you just get to just play with science all day and find out like shits and gigs, what works, what doesn't work. Like I do love the R&D that she represents, the fun-loving, good-intention R&D chemist lab tech that would likely work at a pharmaceutical place. I'm like, I like her. I feel like I hope we get more Kiki, because I don't know. She was like who was it? Q. Yeah, like Q in the James Bond series. Like, yeah, well, you just stay in the lab and do some R&D and fun stuff. Anyway, here's some fun chemical spray. All right, Vicky, what you got to say? Cecil, I feel like will be the first face Jonas sees when he wakes up. Hold on, Cecil. Oh, why is that? Hold on, I'm thinking of that name. Cecil. Oh, Cecily. Sorry, I misread that. Cecily. Oh, Cecily. I feel like we didn't get a whole lot of expansion on Cecily in that one. Good thing to bring up. I'm gonna read the rest of the comment, but let's bring up Cecily, who is the hold on. She's the deputy national security director with influence over the DEA, who secretly conspired with Jonas and Ryudo. She just seemed to be like a right hand in the government for Jonas. Like I didn't get a whole. I mean, Cecily just showed up one day to just mess with Francis. She's like, "Here, you solved Rubik's Cube. You can't put it back together because you don't know what you're doing. Anyway, bye." Like that was Cecily's only purpose was to mess with Francis and also just to be the Jonas's finger in the government. And I kind of want to see more about Cecily. Like that was in the fantastic 5 minutes, or I say the last good 5 minutes that we got of Capano and Harrington when they're at the racetrack, and he's laying out the packs of ketchup and the salt and the pepper and all the stuff, whatever, and showing how everything is connected to Ryudo and the government and everything. And he's like, and if you look over your left shoulder, you'll see Cecily talking with Jonas. Isn't that our boss talking to Jonas, who's the owner of Ryudo? We're the baddies. We're just we're the stall, like we clean the horse stalls, we pick up the horse shit, and that's what was that's what it was. And I feel like that was one of Cecily's shining moments, is just being in the background of that issue. But anyway, I'm sorry, what were you saying, Vicky? Cecily, I feel like will be the first face Jonas sees when he wakes up. I'm sure he didn't tell anyone he was sick. Most likely, yeah, most likely he didn't tell anyone was sick, and that is probably be a bad for business in his mind. Yeah, I feel like when you're playing chess to that level of CEO, like he's like the CEO of CEOs, like he's the boss of like several companies in government, he's got insides in the government. When you're that level, you can't show weakness, otherwise you're gonna get a knife in your back. And I would love for Cecily to be, yeah, you're right, Vicky, I would love for Cecily to be the first thing that Jonas sees when he wakes up. Or it's like in his doom loop, like one of the last heads that explodes out of a head is Cecily's, and then he opens his eyes and he just sees real Cecily. He's like, ah! And like the only reason Cecily would be keeping an eye on Jonas is either to make sure he stays in a coma, or to make sure that she's not under his thumb, or maybe is. I don't know what was she getting out of this whole thing, right? Is she getting money out of this? Is she getting a little bit of power out of it? Probably money. But yeah, that would be really cool to see if they were the first, like she was the first thing. No, yes, she was the first thing that he sees when he wakes up out of that one. But we'll see. Don't know. We will find out in season 2, that I hope does not take forever to come out, because my goodness, I love it so much. And it was another character, Kenji. Yeah, Kenji was just a brief character. Capano and Harrington's boss. He's the one that they're. Oh, sorry, I can't remember he or she. Who Kenji was. Anyway, they're the one that splits up Capano and Harrington, the best duo that the Bureau has. But I'm not gonna lie though, whenever Capano and Harrington do get split up, they kind of instantly become better agents separately, and I'm not for that. I'm all for them just like jamming out to music and dancing in the car and getting shit getting shit jobs. But I don't like them Capano instantly becoming the best detective and Harrington just going undercover with the DEA. I yeah, I don't want the government working that efficient. I want the government to be just jamming out in surveillance cars and putting up cameras and fooling Rusty like he's gonna get cable. Okay, let me see. What are some other moments in the chat, guys? What are some other parts that you loved about this show, or that you hope to see, or parallels you see in other shows? Let's see, because I know I've been talking for about 35 minutes straight. We can talk about whatever happened to Andrea. I miss her. I hope she's okay, or enjoying the nap that she's still under, which is most likely what that was, because we were both very tired today. I make it sound like we're roommates. Okay, let me see what else. We can talk about Francis's arc. Francis is I feel like out of this entire show, she is the most like any one of us that is going to exist in this show. She starts off just a whatever assistant to Rick, just like, as anybody who's, I would say, what, 10 years outside of university or whatever, just getting a job, doing what you got to do, nose down, not really getting anywhere, hitting that glass ceiling, working under Rick. And and she's dating Nick. Oh, sweet Nick, who loves his VR games and being fucking cold oatmeal. Um, and then she meets Marshall, and immediately her trajectory takes a right turn, right? Um, Oh, that will be interesting, Vic. Hey, hold on, I'll get to that one in a second. And I love that Frances immediately just sees, first of all, okay, cool, this guy from high school that I went to, we were lab buddies, whatever. And then she sees this mushroom, and she immediately sees, this is my ticket to success in this BS pharmaceutical gig or company that I'm a part of, and kind of uses Marshall a bit, which, I mean, well, yeah, just a dude from high school. She didn't know what he was up to or what the whole thing is. She just sees ticket to success, and she does that. Well, I feel like she's borderline on wanting to do that, be involved, and then like she does, she gets it. The Oh my god, I'm stalling out. Where was I going with this? Anyway, yeah, she takes it, screws over Marshall, gets her moment of success with the pharmaceutical company. She's like, did I just, like, she's talking with her friend, did I just sell my soul? Maybe, but at least I have this purse. And she got this cute little purse with all that money, and then she was miserable. She was like, oh, this is bullshit. Her mom died, didn't work out. It's her story arc is just believable. Like, she made the decision she felt like she had to do in the moment, like any of us would. Frustrating to anybody on the outside seeing the whole thing on a whole, but I mean, I feel like she was just playing the card she had in every moment. And I don't There were moments I hated Frances, but in no way did I ever disagree with Frances, because I'm like, yeah, I probably would have done the same thing. And then she ends up at Joshua Tree with Marshall. And hold on, Vicky, will be interesting to see how Marshall and Frances deal with being wanted. I want to know how much they're going to be wanted. I mean, there's Marshall obviously still wanted by the government. That ain't going to change. But like, I don't think Frances might be his ticket out of there, or might not be, just because no one's really after Frances at the moment. The government's not really, so she might have connections there. Are they just gonna chill out in Joshua Tree for a while in the hot ass desert of, I think it's Eastern California? I think that's where Joshua Tree is. Eastern California. Help me with this one. It's in the Southwest. It's in somewhere in this region. I think it's California, because I think I always remember Californians always talking about Joshua Tree. Anyway, they're just out there in the desert now. I don't think it's a great place to grow mushrooms, but that's where they're at. And I think the coolest thing, which is something to be tapped into, which might they might dive into later in the season 2, is the fact that Marshall was able to telepathically communicate with Frances, like from across the country. Like, he was in his, like, I think he called it the portal, or like he was in the shroom zone. Let's call it the shroom zone, because that's really what it is. He's in the shroom zone. He sees her chatting up with Rick at this, at a posh dinner place, whatever it is. And then he communicated, he's like, this is the Joshua Tree symbol. And she looked at it and she was like, the hell is this? And then I think she eventually clicked in that it was Joshua Tree. But I think that was cool. That was cool as hell. And will be tapped into. I feel like that's got to be the next level of after Marshall takes these mushrooms for what, like the third, fourth, fifth time in his life. Like, he keeps like and keeps going more into it. And I think he's realizing, wait, this might be there's got to be something to that. The way that you can communicate to other people through there. Like, he keeps calling it a portal. He sees through it, and anybody who just takes one dose is seeing those little white dancing little boop 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 boop, like those little bald white Studio Ghibli like little creatures dancing around, whatever. Okay, I'm getting told Joshua Trees in Southern California called it. I know my national parks. Okay, but I feel like that's got to be something to that, where it's like these little dancing white people, like the shroom people from the shroom zone. They're just dancing about, and and then I'm like, it's got to be something connected to that. Because like it's going to be like another realm where like, hey, not only does it heal you, it can also like expand your consciousness to this other dimension. You can communicate with other people through that one. I want to see where that goes, because that's actually going to be a really cool element, easy to brush off and just be like, okay, they're high on shrooms, they're saying things, they're experiencing that, but that was a tangible communication that Marshall was able to give to Francis. So I feel like that's got to be expanded upon. Probably be blamed for the deaths of the Ray of Jonas. Yeah, most likely they're going to get blamed. I mean, the government's going to throw any charges they can at them. Because that's what the government does. No offense. Please don't come after me. But yeah, so no doubt that's they're gonna throw those charges on. They're gonna blame for Jonas. I don't know if anybody's actually on Jonas's side. I feel like once he's down in his coma, it's gonna be like, okay, good, screw it. Like he had his thumb on all of us, and then now he's in a coma. So I don't think anybody's really gonna care about that one. Oh, here we go. When will she let Marshall smash? Look, there is no disagreement. You're not going to find anybody objecting to this one. Marshall needs love. Okay, Marshall deserves love. He's too he just wears his heart on his sleeve. And I feel like Francis needs to recognize that Marshall's got it going on. Okay? Look, he's got his shirt open, showing off, showing off what he's bringing to the party. I 100% hope that they do smash. Thank you, Tone 901. 100% yes. May they smash and be well. And you know what? That would be a great opening to season 2. Of they like just cuts to them like in the same bed together. I'm like, yay, good for them. Although you cannot easily smash if you're on psychedelics. I can tell you that from personal experience. Okay, let me see what else we got. Love the episodes connected. This show did a great job continuing where they left off. That yeah, they did. I thought it was funny how the little guys just watched Jonas go through it. Yes, I feel like everybody, even was it remember, and this is the thing that hurt Marshall also, like Marshall stumbled upon a car wreck, like a single accident car wreck. The guy was dying, he gave him the mushroom, and all of a sudden the guy's like, oh, I'm alive, he's on the news. It raised his profile, it let everybody know like the path that Marshall was taking. And then later that guy showed up at the how do we call that, the mushroom camp, the with Rusty and the sheriff, and Hildy. The guy showed up and he's got a gun to Marshall's head, and he was like, I keep seeing them things. I keep seeing them everywhere. You did this to me. I wish I died in the accident or whatever. I love that I don't love that this guy's haunted by it, but I do feel like that can be an example of like, there's something to these little white people, shroom people. I don't want to keep saying white people, but these shroom people going around just dancing about and everything, and then like it's almost like they're trying to give them example, like tell them something or communicate, because they'll just dance around and then explode into these weird like asymmetric shapes and colors and everything going around. But then whenever they get to Jonas sees them, and they all just like they just hang out and they're like watching, or just got like knees up. They're like and just watch him go through his doom loop. I feel like these little shroom people in their shroom land, like, I don't know what, like, they're trying to teach us lessons, or they just like to watch people get high and then they communicate, because I feel like, because Marshall sees these shroom people, everybody sees these shroom people, but I feel like the driver, that driver that got healed, he was like haunted by them, like he was seeing more than the average person does, and I want to know why. Like, what does that tell? Like, or like, you taking this shroom gives you access to the portal that Marshall was talking about, and then you suddenly get to see these like these shroom people. The shroom people see you, and they'll mess with you and try to teach you lessons and shit. I don't know what's going to go on with that one. I feel like I've been talking for 45 minutes straight. Anybody else got anything else they want to talk about these guys? We can talk about how thinking Rick would see them when he tasted the spray. Yeah, like, well, again, I feel like I got the synthetic mushroom sparkle. That's just delicious. I mean, would I like an even better Cool Ranch Dorito? I don't know if we can get better than the Cool Ranch Dorito. It is one of the superior ones. I always like to say I like the nacho cheese Dorito. Then you take a taste of that Cool Ranch and you're like, oh baby, I'm sorry I ever said anything against you. But apparently Sparkle's that next level. Evidently no. With this synthetic shroom, I feel like Rick might be one of the only characters that didn't try the mushroom, other than Capon. No, other than Harrington. I think Harrington's the other one. But I don't think Rick ever actually tried the mushroom, which is very, very apropos to Rick. He doesn't try his own supply. But I would love to see what happens to Rick. Like, that would be, like, I feel like that's how we could get Hippie Rick. I want to get Hippie Rick, where he turns against being a CEO anymore, and then he, like, his brain switches, and he just sees, like, the little shroom people. He's like, damn it, I think I understand what I need to do. And he goes off in there, but I don't know. Take a look at the next season. Yes, Tone. So I was just talking to the producers before we started, and I just finished watching the previous season of Invincible, and I was like, as soon as like episode 4 ended, they were like, "All right, we're done. See you next season." I was like, "Wait, what? 4? What the hell's that?" And then they just dropped the next 4 for whatever reason. I haven't watched those yet, but yes, I hope it doesn't take too long to get to this next season. But I mean, it's animation, right? I feel like this show was the tester. There was no, like, I guess no pilot or anything. They just blam dropped it because it was Greg Daniels and Mike Judge. You say yes whenever they drop something, right? So I feel like this was the tester episode. But when it comes to animation, I mean, that's going to take time to div that out, and I hope they take enough time to get the storyline right. Like every episode of this damn series, season 1, mwah, fantastic, weaving stories, realistic characters, realistic dialogues, realistic story arcs, all that shit. I hope they take their time with season 2 to get it right, but I also hope it doesn't take too much time, like Invincible, like we got years between it, or Severance, where we had to wait, 4 years between like season 1 and season 2. I hope it doesn't take too long, but I totally understand if it is going to take a little long because it's animation. Animation takes time, but damn, ugh, I love it. I love it so much. This is a great show. It's what, like 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, something like that, like highly rated. And it's made by the same guys that did Scavenger's Reign, which I need to finish. I think I watched 3 or 4 episodes of Scavenger's Reign, which is mind-alteringly beautiful, not only animation but also envisioning of creatures on another planet. Like, what would their physiology be? Like, how do they run? How do they function? How do people, like, it's wonderfully done, which absolutely explains why like Common Side Effects is beautiful. Just beautiful animation, outside the box thinking, especially with the psychedelics of how do you, if anyone's ever done psychedelics, like, how do you explain to someone, unless you're a really good artist and you're able to like draw what you saw, like it's really hard to explain that. I feel like they did a really great episode, great storytelling and great visualization of what that looks like. Devil May Cry. Oh, okay, Vicky's been watching Devil May Cry. Hold on, I didn't realize, because I know Devil May Cry the video games, but I didn't know that. Oh my god, the animated series. Don't tell me this has been out forever. Oh, thank God, it just came out. Okay, there's a reason why I haven't seen it yet. Okay, that seems like a good kick-ass series. How many episodes do we got right now? Are we just doesn't say season. Oh, we're out 8 episodes already. Oh, damn. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I have a lot of animation to catch up on. There's a lot I've not watched, and I just got Netflix back, and so according to my brother-in-law, that is the animation capital, outside of Crunchyroll, that anybody can casually watch. So okay, that might have to be my methadone to Common Side Effects until it comes back around. That catch up on Invincible. Oh, there's me again. So I just clicked on the live version of me doing this, which is weird. Okay, anyway, let's see, what else can we talk about in this, in this last 10 minutes? Yeah, let's spit some other good animated series that's going on. I'm actually catching up on Clone Wars, the 2008 Star Wars Clone Wars series, and I didn't realize how great that is. I mean, they're short 22-minute episodes, but it is like it's war. Here's this battle. Here's this situation. It's like bam, 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 credits, and then start a new one. Bam, 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 bam. 22 minutes, credits, and then it just keeps going on. And so, and there's 7 damn seasons of that. I didn't realize that. But what are some other animation you guys have been watching that you maybe want us to catch up on and talk about? We had Devil May Cry, Scavenger's Reign, anything by Studio Ghibli. Or Studio Ghibli, I've never heard. Ghibli doesn't sound great, but Studio Ghibli. What are some other really good animation out there that you guys are watching? Tone, Vicky, Critic Box, Chidu, Chidi, Chris. What you got out there? Or what are you up to on this fine Saturday night? As we close out, there's Akira. I'm not gonna lie, I may or may not have been on shrooms the first time I watched Akira, and that was a visually beautiful and satisfying. There's something about Japanese animation in the 80s where they knew how to do cyberpunk dystopian future beautifully. There's some other series that came out during the 80s in there, but yeah, Akira is, whew, that is some beautiful animation, and obviously copied after copy after copy, because it inspired every other person, every other animator that grew up watching that one, and then in the 90s and 2000s and 2010s, 2020s, all of it. Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I watched the Cyberpunk, was it 2077 that came out for a while ago? And holy crap, I enjoyed the hell out of that one. Hold on, what is Edge Runners? Let me see. I'm looking it up in. There was the one. Okay, I did watch that one. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, the 2077 was the video game. Was the computer game that I didn't play, but I hear it was cool. But anyway, hell yeah, I loved Edge Runners. That was a fun ass show. That was beautiful cyberpunk, beautiful dystopian future, great storylines, sad storylines, of how you can't escape fate, or like the cycle continues. Hell yeah, Chris, that was a great show. Definitely recommend that one to anybody. Again, if Andrea ever wakes up from her nap, I hope she's not in a Jonas inspired doom loop nap that she's at. I hope it's a peaceful nap. But I would, because she's just now getting in animation. She's just realizing how great animation can be, and I hope I would recommend Cyberpunk to her. Happy birthday, Akira. Oh, is it the birthday? Is it? Hold on. Is it Akira Toriyama's? Hold on. Akira Toriyama. Oh yeah, you're right. It is his birthday. Oh, he did Dragon Ball Z. That's a series I need to rewatch. I mean, I casually watched that in high school, like junior high school. But yeah, I need to rewatch that one. Oh yeah, Akira Toriyama, happy birthday, buddy. You're the best. Sakamoto Days is another. Sakamoto Days. Let me look up that one. Sakamoto. I know Sakamoto. Like the jazz artist. This is a different one. Okay, Sakamoto Days. Oh, what is this one? Story revolves around Teru Sakamoto, retired legendary hitman who has settled into a quiet, mundane life as a family man. And then he gets brought back in. I don't know. I mean, hell yes. Okay, that looks cool as hell. Is there a way for me to casually watch that, or is that just... Oh, it just came out. Okay, cool. Is that on Netflix or Crunchyroll? I know things. Oh, it's on Netflix. You just said it, Vicky. Thank you. Or I could just read the rest of it. Sakamoto Days is another one on Netflix. Thank you. Thank you, Vicky. You've been with me this entire time, Vicky. Thank you very much as I just ramble on for an hour straight. Thank you for coming to my nonsensical common side effects TED Talk. Okay, yeah, Sakamoto Days. That one sounds cool and fun as hell. is there something about this storytelling of an ex-hitman that is just living their life, chilling in vibes, and then they get brought back in? Like that was the basis of John Wick, basically, and so many other common things of just like, look, I try to live this peaceful life, but you won't let me, and I'm just all for it. And this guy. I haven't seen the trailer for Sakamoto Days, but it seems like such a nice, quaint guy. They're like, you didn't want me to come out of retirement, but I will. Hell yeah, I'm all about that one. Okay, oh yeah. Another anime series I'm catching up on is the latest season of Castlevania. I have loved the shit out of it. I didn't know where I left off. Like season 3 or 4. I think it was 5 now. Anyway, I'm on 4 or 5. I again forgot which one. But Castlevania has been a hell of a of a role. I've been enjoying that one as well. Anything else? Anything else you guys want to talk about in these last 5 minutes as we close out common side effects? I would let's we should close out common side effects. This has been a fantastic show. I've enjoyed it. I'm going to speak for Andrea. This has been the highlight of her life. Nothing else in her life has mattered at all except watching and reviewing common side effects. And it speaks to everyday life. It again realistic storylines, realistic dialogue. I believe the whole thing. And I absolutely. Oh, hey! She woke up from her nap. Please join us. And again, I feel like it shows the pharmaceutical and it shows like the bad end of the pharmaceutical companies, like the Jonas, the Rick, the heartless, soulless, power hungry, money grabbing. But it also did show that there is the good side of like, yeah, we all hate pharmaceutical companies. Nobody likes pharmaceutical companies, but we still need them. Like they provide the medicine that we need. So it's like, is there a way that we can send every CEO into a comatose doom loop and then we get to lower drug prices and then we all get to enjoy the benefits of it? Thank you for thank you, Vicky. Thank you. Again, I will speak for Andrea, although she apparently just woke up from her nap. But I will speak for the both of us and say it has been an honor for you guys to like our review. I mean, because we could just talk into the void. Oh, thank you, Vicky. We're the reason you subscribed. I'm happy to be the linchpin of your life. Really give you that purpose. But it's been fun for us. I'm really glad that you guys have enjoyed it. This is also a tester, by the way. This whole live discussion recap of the whole season review this has been a tester, and we hope to do more of these. We initially expected both of us to be here, but it didn't work out that way. And hopefully when we do live discussions, it's not just me rambling for an entire hour by myself. Hopefully we'll have Andrea here, and the time will pass, and we'll get different points of view in this one. But we've enjoyed reviewing it because we did the Penguin, and that was fun. The Penguin, great series, by the way, but with Colin Farrell, 100% recommend. And hold on, I'm gonna tie. So like the Penguin was a fun one. We did common side effects as just a wild one-off. Like, all right, this seems like a cool show. Let's do this. We didn't realize, one, how good the show was going to be, and two, how well you guys are going to like it. And really thankful for you, Vicky, and the hundreds of thousands of you that have reviewed our videos and subscribed and liked, and we really appreciate it, and thank you. And please keep creating fake accounts in YouTube so that you can all like and subscribe and get our numbers up, because the more numbers we get, maybe the more money we can do to make our show better and improve it, so we can improve it for you. It's a feedback loop. Instead of a doom loop, it's a good feedback loop of the more you like it, the more we get to do, and the better we get at it. And we really appreciate it. And I want to thank you in these last few minutes of maybe I'm holding out because I think Andrea may or may not be showing up. But it's I'm glad you liked it. We like the show, and I'm glad that you like us liking the show and talking about the show. Vicky, Tone, Chris, the Critic Box producers who were also talking there. Thank you, everybody, for doing this. It's been really fun. It's been fantastic, and we hope to do more. What other shows do you? Because we have some time. What other shows? I mean, I'm thinking about doing. We're going to be doing Andor season 2. There's also going to be Last of Us season 2. Those are going to be fun ones and intense ones. So we're going to definitely stay tuned for that one. I feel like we should do some more like 30-minute episode ones. Oh yeah, movie watch-alongs. Oh yeah, we have a good list of some movie watch-alongs. Hold on. Oh my goodness, it's Andrea.
Is it though?
Yes, and we're live.
Are we? Is that
We're
what
live right now.
is that what
You
you decided to do?
this right now we're live. People are seeing you right now live as you woke up from your nap. Uh, which, by the way, I 100% woke up. I woke up like 30 minutes before we did live. I was like, oh crap. Yeah, because I climbed the CN Tower today and I was tired as hell.
Oh my God, I saw that post. I saw that post. How was that?
Oh,
I
good.
actually walked by the CN Tower and I thought of you climbing the stairs of the CN Tower as I walked by.
You're like, Jared's climbing that today.
Yeah.
I did, by the way.
So no, but how was it?
Oh, hold on. Vicky's talking about Daredevil, because hell yeah, Daredevil Reborn. I've been watching that shit. And have you been watching that too?
I haven't watched Reborn yet, but tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Hell yes. Okay. This feels like the Daredevil got like canceled after season 3 or 4 because Netflix went wow during the pandemic. And
Right.
this Reborn feels like a more adult Daredevil, which I don't know, it was before, but it feels like they're what do you call that? Not more mature, a more mature Kingpin, a more mature and experienced Daredevil, and their refusal to get back in the game, and then they get back in the game. Each
Mm.
of them in their own different storylines. I'm loving it. I'm loving the new one. It's really fun. I feel like there's a couple episodes that were like, not a whole lot happening, but it's like it's hitting upon all the other superheroes that existed. Punisher's makes his appearance in there. It may make more appearances, but it has been fun as hell. I have been enjoying Daredevil Reborn. 100% recommend.
Wait, is Vicky telling us what she thought about it?
Mm?
Because
No,
I haven't.
we just been talking about what shows we've been watching, and
Uh,
no, I've literally been talking for an hour straight, Andrea.
well, you can do that. You can do that very well, Jared. See, this is why I'm not worried about you. I can't do that, but you.
We can banter. I mean, but I need a break from talking for a hot second. So give me your final thoughts on common side effects so that I can
Yeah.
take some water and not talk.
Apparently, he can't handle it. Okay.
Mm-mm.
No, anyways, no, and you have been handling it. So cheers to you, Jared. Okay, so my thoughts on common side effects is
Mm-hmm.
it's just the fact it's a good show. It's a damn good show. And I'm just really happy for good shows that actually keep my attention because I don't know about how anybody else feels about this, but I really hate it when I'm watching something and I'm like excited about watching it because there's been good reviews about it or whatever. And then I get to it and I'm just like, oh my God, it's not even holding my attention. Like, why am I here? But common side effects didn't do that. And I'm just I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful. And then I'm thinking about Hildy right now. Hildy is the only person from Common Side Effects that's really coming to mind at this moment. And it's just because I realized that I love that crazy old hag. I love her.
She was a loose cannon. Like I
Mm-hmm.
mentioned, I never hated Hildy. I
Yeah.
just didn't like what she was up to sometimes.
Well, we
But I
didn't.
never hated her.
Yeah, we didn't like it because she was fucking with Marshall. But yeah, no, but I love Common Side Effects. I just have a warm fuzzy feeling about it, and I don't get that about a lot of the shit that I've been watching lately. So unless it's Black Doves,
Oh, what's Black Doves?
Oh my God, with Keira Knightley, it's on Netflix. It's like an 8-part limited series, and it's just basically about her and yeah, her double life as a politician's wife and mother of 2 and a spy. And it's just great. It's just great. You wouldn't think that Keira Knightley could pull off a role where she's like tough and hard ass and like don't fuck with me type of thing, but she does, and she does it so well.
I feel
It's
like
great.
I feel like we're just now getting into Keira Knightley's new era, where she's no longer just being like, "Oh, hey, I'm this cute, attractive girl and like love interest, whatever." I feel like now she's like, "Hey, I'm a woman and I can do shit."
Yes.
And you're about to get a gritty Knightley, and I'm all for that.
she definitely she nails it. And I think what else also nails it too, I'm looking up the guy, her co-star's name. Her co-star is Ben Wishaw. I was so surprised. He had me screaming at my screen. I don't know if anybody else out here has watched Black Doves, but if you have, and you saw his storyline and just how they wrote it and how they told it, and that amazing, beautiful, incredible scene where he's leading his partner down the stairs, and fantastic. Anyway,
Yeah.
that yeah, honestly, that's how I want to see stories about like homosexual people and homosexual relationships online. That's how I want to. That's how I want to see it. Did I say online? Not online, but in period in general. You know,
Yeah.
it was just really well done. It was mature. They didn't shy away from things, but they told a real love story, and it didn't all hinge on the fact that he was gay. It was just like he just happened to be gay.
Hmm.
It's crazy. Black Doves, definitely. I'm rewatching that now.
Okay.
And then I'm also watching When Life Gives You Tangerines.
When life get, there's so many damn shows out there.
Yeah.
Why can't we get it? Why aren't we in one? Why aren't we in a show right now?
We're gonna have that conversation right now because I could cry. Like, if you want me to cry, we could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. My coils are ready for the tears, man. No, but there are incredible shows on. So we just happen to sometimes either watch a few, be in a few, or help a few get made.
I mean, I'm in the background of a few. I guess that counts as something, you know.
It does. That's how
That's
Amari
something.
Hardwick started.
It's a who?
Amari Hardwick, Power Universe.
Oh,
No,
okay, cool.
no, I need you to pull up a picture
I'm sorry, say it again. Mari Hardwick?
because you know who I'm talking about. I know once you see the picture, you know that. Oh, okay. Yes, I'm living his life.
Oh, Amari Hardwick. Yeah. Oh, Power. Yeah, the show Power.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he's currently working on something in the city right now too.
Awesome. He's from Georgia.
He's from where?
Georgia.
How do you do that accent for like everywhere? How do you do an accent?
Georgia? Well, I mean, it's not hard for me to do an American accent because I am one. So I can I can just pick and choose from the region.
Paradise. I heard about that one, Vicky. I heard that one's really good. Everyone's loving Sterling in that.
Well, anything with Sterling K. Brown is gonna be fucking amazing because it's Sterling K. Brown. God damn, that man can't do wrong. I mean,
It got
I
to a point.
love it.
It got to a point where I couldn't even watch This Is Us anymore because I was literally like bawling every episode. I'm like, I can't keep doing this to my body.
Oh yeah, though that's a cry show. No, I watched a couple of episodes because my wife was watching it, and I just realized I can't watch This Is Us because I'm like I can't watch a cry show. That's I just like everybody just like has a heartfelt tear and cry in every episode. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't. I mean, it's a good show, it was a wonderful show, but I'm like, I can't watch a cry show. There's enough going on in the world. I don't want to watch a cry show. I don't need to cry.
I can't watch one right now, but
Yeah.
a good cry show is not going to hurt. Paradise. It's a thriller. Really?
Mm. Oh, Chidi-san is asking, do you guys have a favorite Common Side Effects episode? You know what? I was thinking about this one. Uh, I would say, I mean, there's a lot of good episodes. Obviously, every fucking one of them is a good episode. I'm gonna say, the what was it? I'm looking it up. I'm looking at the episodes, and this one, it's either 6 or 7. It's in the system or
Y'all
blowfish.
hear
It's the yeah. What is that, by the way?
that?
That sounds like the creatures from Edge of the World, whatever. Anyway,
That now you see why I made a horror short film in my studio apartment because I live around that.
what is that? Is that real? That's where you live?
Yeah, I was inspired and I made a horror short film because this is the stuff I live around. If you hear that sound in the middle of the night, wouldn't you wake up and like scream?
Like it sounds like World of Worlds, like those creatures, like that's the sound they make when they're like stomping through. Yeah, that sounds
Basically,
horrifying.
basically, yeah, yeah. My place inspires me to write some mad shit. It's a horror film. Hey, Helsa, it's all right, cool. I'm late too. I'm late too, Helsa. That's what's up. Thanks for joining.
Okay, so favorite episode, I'm gonna say that I would say when Marshall's in prison, the assassin gets got, and then he's got to work with like the kingpin inside the prison. Meanwhile, Capano and Harrington, they get broken up, and then Capano goes right field to figure shit out, and then gets back with Harrington, and they got to figure stuff out. I like that. I don't know why, but I feel like we could have gotten more episodes of Marshall in prison because there was a lot there, but then it got left on the table because he, got out of prison. But then Amelia shows up with, and hooks him up with the neurotoxin and shit. Like, I don't know why, but I like that was like that whole aspect that just got, how long do you think he was in prison? I mean, probably like a couple weeks, maybe a week. Wasn't long. Nope. Oh, I can't hear you, Andre.
Sorry, I was on mute, y'all. Anyway,
Hey, welcome back.
yeah. So I was saying, given the American prison system, he was there for at least a few months because, like, they had time to put him in federal prison. Like, he wasn't just in a regular state prison. Like, they transported him. So therefore, I mean, I'm giving it at least a good 6 months. And just living her life and getting promoted and involving and stuff. So.
I mean, you know what? It would have been episode 6 then, because that's when you got the assassin that knew to go to the convenience store, shoot it up, not hurt anybody, but then he gets picked up enough time to get sent to prison to kill Marshall. Like, how would they have known Marshall was there? And the U.S. prison, like jail system, I mean, you're gonna go to prison because that's just the U.S. jail system, but it does still take time. So I guess so. He would have been there for months. You're right.
At least they were able to find Marshall.
Yeah.
Small victories.
Little victories.
Yeah.
Helsa, you're right. He was in there for, makes sense.
All right, 2 months. Yes, exactly. Because, I mean, they'd do it to me too, like on the first night. So you, you sadistic person, you want to see more episodes or wanted to see more episodes with Marshall in jail?
In jail, because I want to see what that system was with like that kingpin that was inside the prison that like Marshall's like, you're now our doctor now, and like he was running that thing, saved him from the assassin and everything. I feel like that guy. I don't even remember the guy's name. I feel like I just wanted to get more out of that. I feel like there was a lot more story that could have been had, or maybe he comes back in season 2. Who knows? Like he gets out of prison, gets the team back together, hunts down Marshall. I don't know. We'll see.
You're mean, man.
I don't know, not in a bad way, in a good, helpful way.
Sorry, I just don't want to see more images of even an animated character locked up. Like it's jail. Like I just don't even see how you could flip that around and make it a positive thing. Like Arkham.
Marshall can.
Okay, whatever. Okay.
I mean, look, if you want to talk about like, would there be a cool show where it's just like everyone locked up in Arkham Asylum? Hell yes, DC, yes, make that happen, please, DC.
Yeah, but it make it happen, but it won't be positive. I mean, but then it'd be a show about jail. So yes,
right.
Are we gonna?
Oh, Critic Box says, are we going to get Hildy versus Jonas in season 2? Like I've said, we need that. We need that showdown. I need that rooftop showdown, but we need Jonas to get out of his doom coma first. Like he's in the dark parts of the Shroom Plane, so we don't know if that's we're gonna get that or not. But we goddamn need it, because Wildcat Hildy ain't done. I know that for sure.
The way I see it. Like if Hildy is on that whole anarchist, I'm poisoning the water supply type tip. You need you need a greater, if not more impactful evil to balance that out, the play for the other side. And the only one left is Jonas if he makes it out of that coma. If he doesn't make it out of that coma, then there's other characters that can step in, possibly Cecily, but we shall see. But there needs to be like a big bad showdown.
Oh, and we had a comment earlier. It may have been Vicky commenting about they would love Cecily to be the first thing that Jonah sees when he wakes out of his coma.
Say what?
And like,
why?
Would Jonas
Why
still
no?
would Jonas still be Jonas if he ever gets out of that coma? Like, does he still have the power? Is he still under does he have everyone under his thumbs still?
No,
Is
but
Cecily just like, I'm here to make sure you never get out?
no, but Cecily would be there to kind of be like, well, no, listen, I'm taking the throne. Like, this is now my spot. Like, you stay down. I'm here now. So if that's the first, that'd be crazy. I like that idea. Though, I wake up and first thing you see is the next is your successor. Like, take that, buddy.
And she's sitting there just like doing a Rubik's cube, like over and over, like, doing it, undoing it, doing it, undoing it, doing it, undoing it. Like, oh, you're awake. Like that's
really.
How long have I been
Thought
gone?
that was going to be a good idea, did you?
Yeah, yeah. Well, your cancer's cured. Was it worth it?
Basically. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Helsa's talking about Scavenger's Reign. Yes, I wasn't. We were talking about Scavenger's Reign prior of that. I mean, because some of the animators prior to Common Side Effects was Scavenger's Reign. I watched only 3 or 4 episodes of Scavenger's Reign and love the hell out of it. But I did not have a good stream, so it cut out every 5 minutes, so it was not an enjoyable watch. So I need to find a better way to watch Scavenger's Reign, but I absolutely enjoyed what little I got to see of it.
Yeah, as I look down to contemplate my broken nail,
Oh no. Oh.
I
Can we get a censor? Can we blur that, please?
Trauma. The trauma. Anyway, so as I looked at it, I'd have to contemplate ways to even see Scavenger's Reign. Like, a lot of these things I'm so upset about. A lot of the shows that are coming out, I'm so upset about because they seem to be great shows. They seem to have cult followings or followings, period. But how do you watch them? How do you watch them? If it wasn't for websites like Collider and Screen Rant that have that little blurb at the end of an article, be like, it's streaming here and here, you would have no idea how to watch some of these shows.
And you can't Google that shit because it's always going to say, oh, it's available on Amazon Prime. Then you get to Prime and it's like, yeah, $25 to rent.
Or it's the American Amazon Prime and you're stuck here in Canada.
The American one, and we don't get that shit up here in Canada, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but I want to watch Scavenger's Reign too. I want to watch because Common Side Effects is literally has me on this animated roll right now. So like now is the time to fit it on it.
When we were talking about that also. There is some really good anime. Cyberpunk Edge Runners is a really cool one.
Oh, this is definitely a conversation. I could have learned from this conversation. I am bad for being like I could have learned.
There was a whole ass hour, Andrea, where I was just talking, reaching. You know, I dissected this whole damn show.
Reaching as you do, you reach.
Just taking nuggets. We were going through the whole character list. You missed the whole discussion.
I see how quickly.
My voice hurts from talking.
Oh, please get over it. This is the life of an actor. This is the life you wanted. Step up to it, buddy. Time to pull yourself up. Those bootstraps ain't gonna wait for nobody.
Yes, they will. They're gonna be waiting until I get more water.
Anyway, okay. Plan ahead. Prepare. Okay, so Scavengers. Yeah. Okay, Scavenger's Reign. Who else? What other anime were you saying?
Oh shit. Where were we, guys?
Okay, just give me one anime show that I should like watch at least one episode to get into. One. Just give me one. I can actually find.
Yeah, I mean, Cyberpunk Edge Runners. That's on Netflix. There's also Sakamoto Days, evidently. That's also on Netflix. That's Vicky's suggestion. Devil May Cry is a good one. Castlevania is a good one. Are you writing any of these down? Invincible is another one that you can watch.
Sakamoto Days, Invincible, and which one? I'm going off the title.
Castlevania. All
right. And if I want to, Scavenger's Reign, just try to find out how to see it.
You can try that out. We may or may not be watching that one. But oh yeah, Ghost in the Shell
Do
standalone
not,
complex.
don't mention that. Ghost in the Shell. That sounds like a video game. I feel like you
No,
guys are
no,
trying to trick me.
no. Ghost in the Shell came out in the '90s. Came out as a movie, I believe, originally. I can't. It was one of those like the glory days of like Cowboy Bebop. That whole series. Only 28 episodes came out in the '90s. Also, Ghost in the Shell
Okay.
came out in there. That was like one of those like glory days of Japanese animation.
Yeah, yeah. Because ever you say Ghost in the
Okay, yeah,
Shell.
Ghost in the Shell came out in 1995, and then Standalone Complex came out 2002 and had 2 seasons.
Okay, because you say Ghost
Yeah.
in the Shell, I immediately think of The Ring, so I know it was like around that era and time.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Around 2000, like late
Okay,
'90s, early 2000s was some good era of a lot of good animation came out there.
cool. All right. No, honestly, right now I'm in Persia. I'm watching a bunch of films for a bunch of Persian films. Don't ask me. But after I'm done, I'm going to dedicate at least an hour
Hmm.
to my life to finding some new anime
Okay,
or finding anime.
and Helsa's recommending Pantheon. I've also heard that Pantheon is good. I heard don't watch season 2 of Pantheon. Because apparently there was I heard there was disappointment with season 2, but season 1 was phenomenal. I don't know. You could ask anybody else who's actually watched Pantheon. They could say the whole thing's good, but who knows?
Healthy, Helsa, can you type quick? Tell me why it's good. Tell me why it's good.
Tell me why Pantheon's good. Oh, Helsa and Vicky are talking. So yeah, evidently Pantheon. Go for it.
All right, cool. All
Pull
right.
the trigger.
I'm gonna pull the trigger. There's a lot of things I should have pulled the trigger on.
There's a lot. Yeah.
I mean, one of them could be an alarm clock. Uh,
I was commenting for you and saying that you were in your own Jonah inspired coma, but hopefully a good loop, not a doom loop, but a good
I
loop.
don't know how you guys put up with me because I saw that message come through at 5. Yeah, be there, and I was like, mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look, I barely woke up at 5:30 too, so don't beat yourself up.
But you have you
Mhm.
climbed the CN Tower today. Like you
I
have
did.
your body is like tired as it should be. Like
I
that is
haven't
a
stood
great.
up in like an hour and a half, and I'm afraid I can't. That's where I'm at right now.
Did you do it like all in one fell swoop, or did you take breaks?
There, I mean, oh yeah, there we I took breaks, but okay, so I did it with my sister-in-law and my nephew. Like the reason I climbed the thing was because my nephew was doing it. I want to be the cool uncle that did it with him. And it is not as bad as I thought, but I think it's also because I get on the stationary bike in the morning and watch a show for 25 minutes, and that's actually really helped to build leg muscles and basic cardio, and
Conditioning.
that really helped. And I was and there's just a lot of people doing it, so there's no way to like like speed run or double step or nothing. You just one at a time, and then my sister-in-law got gassed quickly, so we had to. So like she took a break, I took a break with her, and then I was like, breathe through the nose, we're cool, we're do this. You ready to go? Cool, let's keep going. And like,
Right?
and then
That's
about every 10 to 20 flights,
10 to
157
20
flights.
flights.
157 flights. They
You are
say
acting.
144. They stop you hit the bracelet and they stop your time at the 144, but then they're like, "Okay guys, you did it. Way to go. Just keep going on up to the observation deck, which is 12 more fucking flights."
You're out of
So
your
it's
mind.
157 flights of stairs you go up. But it is not as terrible as you think. You just take a
Listen,
break,
this
take you.
entire when I fly back home and the first thing I'm flying over the city as I see the city and tower, like you can see the highway, but to see the the CN Tower and just like how it pokes up through the sky, it's amazing. But when you're in a plane or when you're like on the street and you see the tower, you don't think 157 floors. You know what I mean?
Fly, yeah, you don't
It
think of it.
doesn't.
You don't think at all. You just think, hey, there's a big old needle right over there. Yep.
Right. It does
And
not compute. How long did it? How long was the whole thing?
my time was about 35 minutes.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
That's really good.
but I was also taking breaks with my sister-in-law, and then like because our like my nephew, her son, obviously like took off because he's 15 and he just went, and I stayed behind with her, and then we caught up to him. Like it was like 110th flight or whatever. Like he was just So we caught up to him, and then like we took breaks, and then we just made it the rest of the way, all three of us together. So I didn't do it for time. My goal was just get to the top. That was it. That was my goal. Was like we're gonna get to the top when we get to it. But there's people like, and I saw other times like people did it as fast as like 11 minutes. And just depends on if you're just going, how in shape you were. But yeah, it could go anywhere from 11 minutes to an hour. But yeah, no, it's not that terrible, and it's over pretty quickly.
11 minutes is a little too in shape for my soul.
Yeah, no, I ain't my life goal is not to do it faster. I did it once, and I might do it again if other people wanted to do it with me. But I'm not like I'm gonna beat my record. Nah, just get to the top, man. That's all my goal is. Get to the top and don't blow out a knee, don't have a heart attack. That was my only goal.
Keep your hips in alignment.
Yep.
It reminds me of that movie where the two girls were, for some reason, decided to climb a cell phone tower. And
Yes. Oh, what was that? I saw that movie.
Huh?
Yeah, I watched that movie in theaters.
You saw the movie in theaters? That's what that whole excursion up to the top of the CN Tower reminds me of. Those two chicks in the middle. I was just like, how are they going to make a movie about that? Like when they get to the top and they're trying to get back down, how is this going to work? And then I started watching a bit of it. I actually have to go back and finish it. But I was like, oh, it kind of does.
Yeah, and they did. Yeah. Oh, what? Adult Swim social media for SCE has two. Where is the social media? Show me the social media.
I love it.
Hold on, let me find
Pano
it.
and Harrington.
I'm
They're
on the
stars.
Insta. Let me find Adult Swim. Adult Swim. Do they have it? Capano Harrington. Show me Capano Harrington. Ooh, they do have some. Yay! They say Common Side Effects season 2. Oh, they do have some.
It was announced a couple of days after we shot or we watched the last episode, apparently.
Oh, of course, all the cool stuff comes out. Hell yeah, I am for it. So, yep, we're getting to season 2.
And it's nice that Adult Swim is finally catching up. Well, not finally. I'm gone, guys.
Wait, what?
It's been a day. No, I was saying if technically I'm not having issues anymore. It's just nice that Adult Swim is just like, yeah, we know we've got this show, but instead of promoting the show using our main titular characters, we're going to use, a couple of our supporting cast. I'm going to stop talking now because that freezing would get on my nerves. So if you guys are looking at us and watching me freeze, it'd be ridiculous. So I'm done. Jared, you.
Back to me.
Jared.
No, that's it. No, I mean, this has been a great discussion. But yeah, no, we're kind of just talking about other stuff that we could be watching. Coming up, we got. Oh, yeah, how you doing with Andor?
I'm on episode 10.
Okay, I'm rewatching it. I'm on like episode 6, 7, maybe. So yeah.
Okay. We can't even say episode 10 because I for some reason think there's 24 episodes in that one season, and apparently there's
12.
Not. So to be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure where in the first season. Andor upsets me.
I love Andor.
Andor supremacy.
Like the Born Andor ultimatum.
Mm-hmm.
I'm game
all
for
of that.
Hell
it's
yeah.
all of that. I love the show, but it upsets me to no end. It's what the Andor is what Gladiator 2 should have been on the intrigue scale.
Go on.
In my opinion. It is kind of hard for me to continue this conversation because I am like acutely aware of me sticking, but this is what it is, okay? If you watch Andor,
mm-hmm.
and you get into the pre-more and get into the fact that they're a law enforcement agency that is set out to that's trying to trying to solve a specific crime or a specific conspiracy that they believe going on, and it's hard for them to do their jobs, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then you have the common folk, and some of the common folk in this civilization and society get caught up in shit. And when they get caught up in shit, it's a brutal example of,
Mm-hmm.
yo, Vicky, prepare yourself, okay? Because if you watch it, it's just, I don't know, if you're anything like me, you're just like, why? But when the people in the common and or society get caught up in situations with that law enforcement agency,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to law enforce against them, it's some of the most brutal, most cruelest, most arbitrary type of treatment I've ever seen laid down.
You mean a realistic
And then you
portrayal
have,
of fascist bureaucracy?
okay, yeah, but
Mm-hmm. It is. It's a realistic portrayal of the fascism's cold, hard steel hand. Yep. And how it just
okay,
creates more enemies. It just tries to whack one mole, creates two more, that creates four, that creates eight. That yeah, that's yep, that's Andor, baby.
okay, that's Andor. All right, but then
Mm-hmm.
um, random. You see that? It
Mm-hmm.
stopped. Cool. That like, anyways, like freaking a prisoner of war and the torture tactics. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So the thing is about Andor is that not okay. So you have the government people working in the government agency, and then you got the common people and how their
Mm-hmm.
tough their lives are. But then you have a set of people, a segment of people in the characters in Andor that their lives are not hard.
Mm-hmm.
They've chosen to make them hard. They've chosen to do things, that to have this rebellion, this where to looking at them on the street, they look like well-to-do, affluent people that don't have a care in the world, and then at night they're guerrilla groups getting together, training to infiltrate the Primor or whatever, and rob them. They
Mm-hmm.
have to do this shit. It's like they needed.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do this. It's not even in the world. No, Wednesday afternoon. So,
Mm-hmm.
but otherwise than that, I'm very much enjoying Andor, and I think that the actor that plays and Cassian Andor is doing a magnificent job. I don't know if he's French or what, but dude could get it. I don't know,
Very good
get it.
question. Hold on. I'm pretty sure I know where
Yes.
the lead actor is
Okay.
from, but I want to just confirm before I say it. He is. Yep, he's Mexican. Yeah, the guy who plays who plays Andor is Mexican, and he was in Y Tu Mama Tambien, one of my favorite movies in high school.
Oh, boy, también.
Y Tu
I've
Mama
never
Tambien
seen.
is a great movie.
I've never. But
I think we talked. Yeah,
my
I think
mother,
we have talked about it. Yeah. Anyway,
and I was actually gonna
on. Mm,
say, but muy caliente,
on
not muy también, because not more together, not more us, but more hot, more hot.
more also. Okay, on that choppy feed note, we're gonna I think we should wrap this up
Leave
on
me alone.
uh
Leave me alone. Don't talk
I'll,
about my TV.
I'll leave you to
Don't
your
talk about my
internet. You
TV.
need that internet to watch your shows. Okay. I want to thank everybody who's joined us. Vicky, who's been here from the start. I want to thank Helsa. I want to thank Critic Box because they've also commented, but they're also us. I want to thank everybody who joined us for this live tester feed. This was, again, a tester of things to come. Clearly, bugs will work out. First of all, we'll get alarm clocks. We'll get better internet. We'll have more water. And we'll talk more about other shows that we're going to be watching and
But do you
reviewing.
see how I share my struggle with y'all?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for I'm doing it. But we shared our struggle, y'all. So
we stay
thank
strong.
you for joining us.
Okay. Like Andor struggle. We're here. Okay. Common Side Effects Season 1. Fantastic. Can't wait for 2. Stay tuned for future. We might be doing Scavenger's Reign. We might be doing some live movie watches. Last of Us Season 2. Andor Season 2. Other things. A lot of shows to watch, and we're gonna do it. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us. Hopefully, we'll be doing more of these. And thank you for liking, subscribing, and creating fake accounts so you can like and subscribe more. It's been a blast, and hopefully, stay tuned so we can do more of them. And and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye from Critic Box. I'm Jared. That's Andre.